Welcome back to Dear Dr. Courtney. We're just going to jump right into it. Today, our topic is adulting is not created equal. Okay. So you may be wondering, like, what does that mean? What are we going to talk about today? All right. So this is something that I notice a lot in my private practice when I'm working with my clients and they are, trying to become the adult that they would respect. They're trying to become their own definition of this person has their life together. This person has their together. Okay. I want to talk to you about this to normalize that it is such a different road and journey of getting towards actualizing, realizing, manifesting your ideal version of yourself that you feel like, okay, by the time that I've gotten to this point in life, I feel like I'm a full-grown adult that I can respect. I want you to know that one, it's not a race, okay? I love to say my race, my pace, okay? But I also want you to recognize that everybody doesn't experience adulthood the same way. And what I mean by that is some people experience adulthood with a lot of support. That can be through friends, that can be through community, that can be through family, that can be through romantic relationships, okay? Marriage, boyfriend and girlfriend, etc. Okay? However, there are others who have what we call lower social capital. Social capital is essentially a currency, and y'all know I love my definition, so I want to give you the actual definition of social capital. Give me just a quick second here. Social capital refers to the relationships, social connections, and networks a person can draw on for support, companionship, information, opportunities, and a sense of belonging. Okay? When you think about a group of 50 people, each of those individuals will have a different level of social capital. Social capital is absolutely critical in influencing how quickly you can arrive at the adult or the standard of adult that you respect. Okay? This topic came to me recently. I love social media. If you use it the right way, it can be incredibly insightful and inspiring, and it can really help to inspire meaningful conversations. It can give you food for thought. Thank you, Lord. That was the thing that I was trying to say. And I was looking for my phone. The question that was prompted, it was like in the wee hours of the morning, and I had happened to wake up to use the restroom. And it said, let's see. The question was posed, what screams this person has their life together? And I sat back and I said, well, that's a good question. And my standard of what screams a person has their life together was, or is, the person has purchased a home that they've lived in over 10 years. They have financial stability. The person, they are the person that people look to borrow money from. They have career stability. They don't smoke. They don't drink. They don't do drugs. And they have an intimate relationship with God and Jesus. And it is the foundation of their existence and lifestyle. Now, when you think about your definition of what screams this person has their life together. It may include some of the things that was from my response. A lot of times it includes being able to put your bills on auto pay, being able to sustain your own housing, to be able to buy your dream car, to be able to buy 4 tires at one time. It may include completing your education, starting and running a successful business, not just being a business owner and a solopreneur, but also becoming a CEO. It may include traveling all over the world. It may include just a plethora of different experiences. But what I want to emphasize is that your ability to engage, indulge, and acquire certain experiences and certain achievements in life is not the path towards that, is not created equal, depending on your social capital, depending on your support system. For example, when you think about being a first generation college student, maybe your parents are no longer around for whatever reason, and you move into your college dorm for the first time. You may look around, and the norm may be that parents are excitedly coming and moving their students in, and they're decorating their spaces and all these kind of things. And you may look around and feel left out. You may feel disadvantaged. You may feel that you will not succeed, or you will not start your semester off as strongly as those who have people who love them to support them in starting this new journey, this new chapter. Okay? I want you to be encouraged that just because you don't have the same support system, the same support group, you're not as resourced as someone who is your neighbor, your peer, your friend, etc. Know that you can still succeed, you can still win, even if it's just you and God. Okay? I want to share this because a lot of times people get highly discouraged when they look at someone else's success and they say, but yeah, they have a team. Yeah, they have financial resources. Yeah, they have a husband. Yeah, they have, all the things that you may feel disadvantaged of. And recognize that even if you don't have the social capital that somebody else has, you still can succeed. However, it is important to recognize that the pathway to your success will not look exactly like their pathway. And I like to say that adulting is not created equal. For adults who have independently been on their own, they're the head of their own household, they are single, and they have never split bills, or they currently don't split bills with someone else, that person is on a different level, a different degree of adulting, because there's no fallback, there's no safety net. I'll add an extra layer or extra factor into that. If they are a business owner, a entrepreneur, life continues to evolve on the contingency of one thing and one thing only. If you, that one person, shows up. And when you think about adulting, where everything falls on your shoulders, that is a different load to carry on your journey to your dreams, on your journey to your goals, compared to someone who's married, compared to someone who co-lives with family and friends, compared to someone who has a strong community social support system that shows up in droves to ensure that person's success. Okay? So I don't want you to compare your pace, how quickly you get there, to someone else who has a higher social capital. They have a stronger support system. But also be encouraged that you are not going to be withheld from reaching your goals and your dreams. Even when you are less resourced than people that are around you. I know it is so difficult to not look at the left and the right and say, what are the odds? What are the chances that I will actually succeed in my goal? But the reality of it is that success is often the reflection of consistently showing up for your life, doing what you can do with what you have in that given day. Okay? So I do recognize that your path may be a bit more challenged. I do recognize that it may be a bit more stressful. It may require a lot more faith, believing that you will be provided for without actually naturally seeing the numbers in your bank account. But know that there are so many successful people in this world who have achieved extraordinary success, and they were severely under resourced, including myself. Okay. I started my college journey at a community college. It was, at the time, it was Tallahassee Community College. Now it's Tallahassee State College. I started my journey working, living in my childhood room at my mom's house, which I'm grateful that I even had that. I earned my associate's degree while almost working full time. There was no college dorm move in. There was no big charade, a big party in the sense of me starting my educational career. There was no parent writing tuition checks for me. There was no parent going to the schools with me. It was literally me and God and the dream that He gave me embedded in my heart, in my belief in myself, that I am an avid learner. And if I am willing to learn, if I'm willing to ask questions, then I can do this. I will find my way through this maze, which was college at the time. Even not having thousands of dollars in my bank account, that gave me a sense of safety and security about how I would finance my educational journey. Okay? But I'm the same person who started my degree at a community college, and I went on to earn a PhD at Florida State University, an R1 research focused, highly respected institution. Okay? So I want you to think about this. If you are a college student, I want you to think about the example that I gave you. If you're not a college student, if you have a dream to become a full-time content creator, if you have a dream to become some type of artist, performing arts, if you sing, if you dance, if you play an instrument, if you have a dream that is possibly a road less traveled compared to the people and the environment around you, do not allow their lack of support, because a lot of times when people don't support you, sometimes it's because they don't have the resources, but a lot of times it's because they don't feel confident in your vision, in your dream. And that's okay, because it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. Okay? A lot of times it takes for you to believe in yourself and your dream first, and you start making some noticeable waves, and then other people will catch on and say, oh, I guess this is a real thing. I guess this is legit. And try not to be too upset with other people's limited vision. Everybody are not visionaries. Everybody does not get so fortunate to have a dream that is so atypical for your typical environment that other people are doubtful. I believe that that can be a gift and a curse. I believe it can be a gift and a burden, because if you are already experiencing low social capital in life in general, and then you want to pursue something that no one else around you has ever done, it can be a lonely road. But the lonely road will not stop you from succeeding. I am a example that at every level of my education, every city I've ever lived in, every job I've ever had, every business adventure, every dream I've ever had, God resourced me at that level. He allowed me to cross paths with people and with things that were exactly what I needed at the exact time that I needed it in order to support me along the way. So, I think this might be a good place for us to pause for today. Let me take a quick look at our time here. But I want you to know, and I want you to always remember that somebody else having more support than you does not mean that they will become more successful than you, that they will have more than you. If you are willing to show up for your dreams and your life every single day, if you are willing to ask questions, if you are willing to be resourceful, go and look up answers, go and visit certain places to get some more perspective, to get some more information that informs your next step towards achieving your dream. It is possible for you. Okay? So we'll pause here for today. To all the newly minted freshmen in college, I wish you the absolute best on your educational journey. Know that it will be quite a ride, and some days will feel quite long. I know it sounds super cliche, but it'll go faster than you think. So try to embrace and be present for every moment. And I look forward to you all joining with me again in our next episode of Dear Dr. Courtney.